Bam, 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 bam. Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, bienvenidos al show. Vida en cero gravedad. Life in zero gravity. You know what it is by now. It's me, Zero Grav, Weedem Boys. Oh man, we got some stuff to get into. First of all, I think maybe the funniest thing is I recorded about half this episode and I quickly realized that I was tired as hell and I should not be recording. So the reason this episode is late, I decided to re-record it. That episode that I recorded was just trash, and I could tell. I think I got actually like 2/3 of the way done with the episode, and I was just like, nah, man, this ain't gonna work. Like, this is terrible. Like, I'm falling asleep. Like, this is not a good episode at all. Oh man, so I just decided to just not even do that. I said, fuck that. That was not working. So, yeah, luckily, I think I made the right decision. I'm sorry for the delay. You know, you're not going to get this till later than usual. Usually they drop right at midnight. It's going to be almost the next day by the time you get this one, but that's okay, you know. I haven't actually missed a day, and that streak continues. Although last week with the video show, I know it was delayed, so my bad. Or no, not last week, the week before last week, actually. The video show was delayed, and I know, so I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. I felt bad that it got delayed like that, but, you know, what can I do? Doing my best here. That's all I can do, man. So, yeah. Still got that streak alive since November 11th, 2019, even though they decided to play me on that episode. Motherfucker, I'm dog ass tough. I was watching it was a documentary on Netflix. You could find it, I'm sure. I forget what it's called, but it's about the American Gladiators. That was one of the things that it was like one of those series, you know, and that was one of the things that they said. But one of the guys was like, "We were dog ass tough," and I just thought that was funny to imagine, you know, as I often think of dog asses. You know, no Joe Budden on that. Oh man, you know what? I wasn't even planning to talk about this, but I saw that Aubrey Graham got quite perturbed about what Joe Budden said about his music. He went on a long ass rant, like just saying Joe Budden failed at music. You failed at music, and just like going, he got in his feelings like a little teenage girl, you know, just whining and whining, trying to tear this man down. And I've actually seen more of the clip in context, and it just looks worse for Aubrey. Like, he doubled down and insulted Budden again, put him in there was like what's it called, like a post that he had with and fucking Hip Hop DX, which has just turned into a gossip site at this point. What a fucking joke of a site that is. Used to be a cool hip hop site where they would have underground shit, and now it's just like it's like TMZ for hip hop now. It's like, I guess, you know, get your clicks, but you know, we could have got that at. We already got Media Takeout. Media Takeout is already TMZ for hip hop, basically. You know, in a way. I mean, it's not just hip hop, but any like famous rapper is gonna end up on there if they do some wild shit, and that's what this site is. It'll have like fucking Hip Hop DX, man. It just fell off. It used to be cool back in the day. It was like, oh, they're posting like these new tracks from like underground artists. And I mean, they still kind of do that, but it's just buried under all these gossip articles. So anyway, that's how I saw that Aubrey posted about, because I checked that site. I'm probably about done checking it, man, because like it's just not interesting. Like, it's one of those things where it's like I already checked the other sites and then be like, all right, let's see if there's anything on Hip Hop DX. And sometimes there'll be something cool, something interesting, but most of the time lately it's just like, you know, talking about Doja Cat's nip slips or whatever. It's like, okay. I mean, I did check it out. I'm not gonna lie. I'm only human. Doja Cat. Doja Cat is interesting, right? I mean, there's always been these like rumors about her being on these white supremacist chat rooms. I guess she has been in there and shit, and then now she wore like a shirt with this white supremacist comedian and shit, like, or that's how he was labeled. I should research that because you motherfuckers will just make some shit up. Like with the whole Matt Healy thing, the 1975 singer, and Ice Spice, how they turned that into being like a racist rant, and it's like when you actually listen, it was a pretty surreal moment for me because I actually listened to that podcast that he was on before, and I didn't think much of it because that podcast is wild, like, and y'all would be so offended if you listened to most of the episodes. That was a mild ass episode where he said the thing that they were calling racist was Nick Mullen said like Ice Spice. Who's Ice Spice? Is that a Eskimo Spice Girl? Just like a silly, goofy joke, and people took that as like. And then he started doing an impression of what that would sound like. People took that as like some like racist thing, and it's like those guys do that shit all the time, and it's like it's that's comedy. I mean, I don't know, like I don't care when people do impressions of white people. I don't get like mad about it and shit. It's just sort of, and I feel like the main people that are mad are white people. It's like white people just want to have it all. It's like they want to fucking co-opt some racial struggle. Like, look, I'm a good person because I'm upset about this racist thing. And sometimes when you get offended by something you perceive as racist, you end up making yourself look more racist, ironically, because like nobody might have even been thinking that was racist. It's like, yeah, Eskimo Spice Girl. Eskimos live, you know, at least they did for a long time. I'm sure modern Eskimos have different techniques, but they lived in the ice. They lived in igloos. Like that doesn't come from nowhere. It's not, you know what I mean? Like it's just silly, man. Y'all just take it too seriously. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. People, we got to be able to joke and shit. Don't be an Aubrey. God damn, Aubrey was going off. He was talking. The one thing that was interesting, and I saw somebody highlight this, was the fact that the stuff he was saying, he was basically it was a bunch of money brags, which by the way is like that's like the worst kind of hip hop for me. Is like the hip hop where they're just bragging about how much money they have. It's so boring. I know there's a lot of Jay-Z fans out there and all that. At least Jay-Z is clever with it sometimes, but like a lot of these guys that do the money bragging, it's like, okay, so you got money, that's cool. Like there's some hedge fund dude that could like destroy your shit if it came down to it. So what the fuck does this matter? You're a millionaire, they got like fucking billions or whatever. Like I don't know, it's a drop in the bucket, but it ain't all about money. And that's the thing that's funny because I got into it with these Drake fans. I got into it. They're being little bitches, man. The Yeah, but anyway, let me get focused. This is an ADHD ass open so far. So so Drake was talking about. I'm a paraphrase. I'm not gonna look that shit up. I don't want to read that dramatic ass comment. But he was talking about how I own like he owns a private plane. Joe Budden flies private on special occasions, and shit like that, and talking about he lives in a modest house in this area, and just talking all this like money shit, and it really made you. I mean, his dumbass fans will eat that shit up, but it's like y'all don't see that he doesn't respect you. Like if he's talking about Budden like this and just talking shit about him for not making as much money as Drake, I mean he doesn't respect y'all. Y'all make like a drop in the bucket compared to Budden. So he doesn't respect you. Like he looks down on you too, and it's like that says a lot, man. Spoiled little bitch growing up in the public eye. Fucking you get on a TV show because you got the music connections. Your dad's a musician. You got those music connections. Your mom has entertainment industry connections. So you get on a TV show, right? So you get semi famous off of that alone. Then you start doing music. and you step on the shoulders of little brother, you know, who's doing well, and then you ride the Lil Wayne wave. Lil Wayne worked his ass off. Like, I didn't like a lot of the stuff that Lil Wayne made. He has some great songs, don't get me wrong, but he made a lot of like terrible shit that I would hear, like all this auto-tuned garbage. And don't get me wrong, like at his best he's one of the best, you know, but there was just so much garbage. But I still give him credit for even like taking the time to release all that, even though a lot of it was bad. It's like the fact that he was in the studio working like that. I don't know if I've seen anybody, certainly not a major artist, just release shit like that, like constantly. There's like a mixtape dropping every week. He built himself up, you know, like he was doing well with Carter 1 and 2, and then there was just such a build up on every feature, you know, fucking dropping all types of mixtapes. He builds himself up to where Carter 3 sells 1,000,000 copies in the first fucking week. And Drake gets to ride that fucking wave, you know? The biggest star in the world at that time. Selling 1,000,000 copies in a week is always impressive, but Wayne did it once like CD sales were starting to decline. You know, he sold that shit. Like, yeah, Eminem and Snoop Dogg did it when CD sales were popular. And, you know, so you can't really look at the sales the same. Like, I think Wayne selling 1,000,000 in the first week was actually harder, because like MP3s had already been popular for a couple years. There's LimeWire, people just ripping that shit off, you know. He dropped Carter 3, I believe, in 2008. Yeah, so it was already like early 2000s. Like, it was our CD sales are sharply declining, you know. That was the whole time of Napster and all that shit when they got in trouble. But yeah, so anyway, so Drake just comes along at the right time and gets signed to Wayne, the biggest artist in the world, works with Wayne. And Wayne really blessed his career. He wouldn't have had a career without Wayne like that. He definitely wouldn't have. He happened to align himself with the right person at the time, you know. Anybody that stepped into that role would have been huge. Same thing happened with Nicki Minaj. That's why they're stars. They were built on the back of Wayne. We need to give Wayne more credit, honestly. He worked his ass off. And these guys, they come in there and they ride his wave. And it's like, that's cool. But at the same time, I mean, personally, like, I don't really fuck with their music. So I'm like, and with Drake, man, I hate everything that he represents. And there's a lot of shit that I can get into, but I fucking hate what he represents. He just represents this fucking half-ass, watered-down, ghost-written fucking bullshit, and I hate it. You know, like, there's no artist that's, like, I don't hate artists, generally. Like, there's a lot of artists I think are whack or whatever, and I don't really, like, I don't have too strong of an opinion, you know? With him, it's been like a buildup of just this passive-aggressive bitch-assness that's just like so irritating to me. Because I'm never afraid of anyone. I'll say what the fuck I want to say, you know, and I don't give a fuck. Like, and that I get in trouble a lot on Instagram. I got in trouble with these fucking Drake fans for calling them sensitive hoes, but they were being sensitive hoes. Got another goddamn violation on my account for that. Fucking man, this one is just about to fall off in like a month, slightly over a month. I think November 19th. This violation is gonna fall off, and I got another fucking violation. So I got 3 currently on there, but I looked and I think total I have like 7. Like, I don't know if they're counting all that, but your boy might lose his Instagram in the future. So I'm just not going to say shit. I get in trouble for the stupidest shit, you know. These people were talking about my fucking daughter, saying she looks like a tortoise and shit, calling me a bum-ass dad, fucking saying that I have nothing to show for my life but a fake blue check mark and a failed rap career and all this shit. Just like trying to be mean as hell, all because Drake said in his new song, he said an 8 a.m. in Charlotte, which is kind of a goofy time and place, right? 8 a.m. in Charlotte. But anyway, so he said in that song, I'm a paraphrase, but he said something along the lines of lying for a living couldn't be me. And I said, he literally lies for a living. All those ghostwriters and all that biting, what a joke. That's what I said. And it just kicked off a firestorm of all these butthurt grown men, fucking grown male groupies, just bitching and like going through my profile like, man, you have a failed rap career. You're 30 with a failed rap career. Your daughter looks like a tortoise. Man, like all this fucking bullshit that's like, you don't realize how much of a bitch you look like. For one, you always lose when you talk about kids. You always lose when you're insulting someone's fucking kids. And on top of that, it's like, okay, so you're insulting someone's kids over a fucking pop star that you don't know because somebody else doesn't like that pop star? Like, you're that fucking insecure. It speaks to insecurity. It's like you just want everyone to agree with you. You just want to fit in, you know. You want to have this opinion that's like, that is like a universal thing, and it hurts your feelings when people don't feel like you feel about something. It's fucking mental illness, bro. For you to like diss somebody's fucking kid over that fucking bullshit. That's some meaningless fucking... The shit I said was so mild. I could go off on Drake. I have a fucking 6-minute diss just destroying Drake from years ago, from like 2016. I can go hard at that motherfucker. I still think that's the best diss. I mean, Story of Adidon, I'll call that number 2, but mine was fucking savage. Mine was like just as savage, but there was more, you know? Imagine just a longer version of that Pusha T diss. And I was doing the Ice Cube shit. I was jacking the beats and fucking just playing like... I jacked his beats, and I'm just rapping and making fun of all of his notable lines over time. Like, it's funny when the frauds get to thinking that they're gods and all that shit. Just fucking calling him caramel ice. Fucking said, if you fuck with me, then I'll put you back in that wheelchair. Make you roll back to the 6 like a hoe. Like, all that shit. I was just going the fuck off, because I was done with that motherfucker. The one thing that I thought was whack... So there's a Meek Mill beef, and Meek Mill, you fucking clown. How the fuck do you lose a beef where you show the world that this motherfucker has ghostwriters and you still lose to his ass? How do you do that? That has to be one of the biggest L's I've seen in a battle. You lost to somebody with ghostwriters. Like, that's hard to do, man. You really gotta make an effort to lose to a motherfucker when you expose them for having ghostwriters. You dumb ass. Meek Mill was a dumbass too. I didn't like his line about Kobe, talking about like something like kill him with a chopper like Kobe. It was something lame like that. Like, at that point I deleted... I think I had like a couple tracks that were featuring Meek Mill on a playlist. I deleted those shits. I was like, fuck this fool. That's a corny ass, like, unnecessary line, you know? I thought, anyway. I don't find that shit funny. So, anyway. Yeah, this Drake album, man. I've heard from the fans that it's trash. I'm never going to hear it personally. I do think, I did hear... The reason I even heard it is because, like, on Reddit, it'll send me fucking random shit like, hey, you interested... Like, I think, it sends me all this 90 Day Fiancé shit. It sends me a bunch of Kendrick shit. And it sends me Drake stuff sometimes. And I'm like, y'all know that I don't fuck with this fool, right? Like, I'm not interested. But I looked through this thread this time, and I don't know why. Something told me to look through it, and I saw that this motherfucker, this corny fucking bastard, literally a bastard, huh? This corny fucking bastard, he took my line and fucking made it worse. So on Vista, I have a line where I say, counting more checks than the Prague census. which Prague is the capital of Czechoslovakia. Obviously, Czech people are called Czechs. This stupid motherfucker, or whoever ghost wrote for him, says, so many Czechs owed, I feel like I'm Czechoslovakian. And I was like, for real? It's fucking corny, man. It's like a worse version of my line, and that fucking sucks. I've actually had those bars highlighted on my page since 2018, right? I know he worked with Benny, right? We all know he worked with Benny the Butcher. I think Benny the Butcher probably ghost wrote that, but here's where it gets weird. So, Conductor Williams, I believe is his name, Griselda producer, produced that track, right? And people who are in the Griselda camp follow me on Instagram. So I'm connecting the dots. Somebody fucking took that line, bro. That was on my page. They took that shit. I know they did. It's fucking whack. And I'm just tired of artists stealing my fucking shit. And if you know me, you know I do not like that motherfucker. Like, of all the artists out there, it's just like the fact that he has ghostwriters, doesn't have the artistic integrity, throws his little bitch ass passive aggressive shots, all that shit, but he gets credit for, having like the top sales and all this shit. And I mean, he's a pop star, but he gets credit for all that. And he still does, in some circles, have hip hop credibility. And for me, I'm like, once he got exposed for having ghostwriters, that shit's out the window. And I don't even think he's a good rapper anyway. Like, he has so many bad lines. Like, it's bad when it's like, I don't listen to his ass, and the fucking clips that I'm force-fed through the algorithm, they're fucking trash. You say you're a lesbian girl, me too. Like, a bunch of just lame-ass shit like that. And I personally have noticed a sharp decline since he got busted for ghostwriters. So maybe he's not using them as heavily anymore. Because he used to be like, yeah, I don't like this shit, but I mean, it does have some good lines. And even that song I'm talking about, it had some good lines. It had some bad fucking lines too. Like, he turned my line into a bad line. So many Czechs owed, I think I'm Czechoslovakian. What's funny is I saw that on this Reddit thread, and I mentioned it to someone. They're like, LMAO, bro, stop. Like, fucking annoying ass Drake fans. They know. They know those lines are too similar. You can see the timestamp on my shit. You know when it came out. Like, it's very obvious. It's been on my page. You can't fake the timestamp on Instagram. I can't fake that. Maybe some of you have a way to do that. But there's fucking evidence that I came up with that fucking line 5 fucking years ago. So fuck you, Aubrey. Fuck you. I don't even, like, that. I try not to go all out like that. Like, I diss his ass all the time, but, like, I don't just come out and say it like that because I felt like that was too far. But at this point, fuck you. Like, that was fucking garbage for you to steal from an artist like you always fucking do, and you made it corny like you always fucking do. Fuck you. I was hot when I heard that, because he's getting credit for this fucking line. It's like a worse version of my line. And then what happens? Every time I point this shit out, the fucking butthurt fans are like, you're not relevant, bro. And it's like, it doesn't matter. I came up with the shit first. Like, fuck you. Give you my fucking credit. You liked it when it was them, then you magically don't like it when it's me. Like, fuck you. You just want to shit on somebody because you build these artists up to be fucking gods in your eyes. I don't think any of them are gods except me. I'm the fucking god MC. Me and Rakim, actually. It's just us. Rakim Allah. And the God Zero. But yeah, I thought that was whack. And I don't listen to his shit. I avoid it like the fucking plague. I think he's a plague on hip-hop. So he got all these kids thinking it's cool to just have ghostwriters and to bite shit and fucking steal people's flows and shit. you know, he's been caught so many times, and it's just so trash to me. And they don't care. Like, I remember when it first got revealed he had ghostwriters. They're like, "Well, he made that shit sound hot, though," and it's like, bro, that's whack. That's so whack. It's like it didn't sound tight when Quentin said it, but when Drake said it, it was dope. And it's like, okay, Quentin recorded a reference tracks that weren't even mixed, you know, so that's not really a fair comparison. But also, it sounds fucking the same. It doesn't sound any better when he says it. Like, it's worse than ghostwriting. It's like not only is it ghost written, but the melody and the flow aren't even yours. Like, you didn't even manipulate that. You didn't even put any seasoning on that. You just took their fucking flow, used it, and you get all the credit, you know? And it's just like, that's fucking whack to me. And hip hop is the only genre where you have to write your lyrics, like, or otherwise, what the fuck are you doing? Because anyone can rap. If you show them how to do it, I guess there's certain flows not everyone could do, like just ability wise. But for the most part, simple flow, you could teach anyone to do that shit. That's not the skill in it. That's part of the skill, but that's not the main skill. The main skill is coming up with fucking good lyrics, you know? And in other genres, lyrics don't matter as much. And in other genres, there aren't as many lyrics. Hip hop has more lyrics because rapping, you can fit more lyrics into a song than you could if you sang everything. So fucking, it's just, you gotta write your own lyrics. You gotta come up with your own shit. And I just think it's whack, and you shouldn't get credit for that, you know? I don't think, personally. But yeah. I think that's enough of that subject. That went on way longer than I thought. That was all, by the way, none of that was fucking written down. I didn't write any of that shit down. That was just all spur of the moment type of shit. So, I got a lot of shit to get into. I don't know if I'm getting to all of it. Let's see. How should I shift this? I guess I'll continue. The money saga continues. I'm not going to get into that right now. That's too... I feel like I just went on like a rant. I don't want to rant again right now. I guess I am about to rant about whack ass LOP Fest though. LOP Fest was lame. Juelz Santana's set was terrible, and I saw them talking about how it was a good set, like the festival, and it's like, bro, I was there. I left after like I think 15 minutes. I sat through. He did like 6, maybe it was 10 minutes. I'm gonna say 12. I'll split the difference. He did like 7 songs in 12 minutes. He's just doing the first verse and the chorus, but all of them are him rapping over the song with the vocals, and it sounds like shit. And then I noticed that he was wearing like this like mask that he would pull down sometimes, but it was like a ski mask that like over his face. And I remember when they caught him in like this Dipset comeback video, and he didn't have any teeth. And I know he got his teeth fixed, but I thought it was interesting that he did that. I was wondering like if something went wrong with his teeth and he was like trying to hide them, you know? I don't know. Conspiracy theory. But yeah, it wasn't tight. It wasn't tight. I really wanted to support that event at first when I found out about it, but fuck you, 60 Yeast. You fucking bastard. Like, these whack ass hip hop gatekeepers, man. That fool... I won't say I'll never do the show. If they offer me, I'll do it. But I don't think I'd ever enter the artist contest. That shit is trash. They don't make it fair, you know. They don't let people really compete. They just fucking book their friends. And it's like, then the rest of us are just funding your fucking festival. The people you pick for the festival, like, I heard more talented artists there. Like, it's trash that they do shit like that. You can see it coming, you know. I'm a more known artist. I bring more fans. I'm definitely a more talented artist than the people they picked, but those guys have the connection. They've been doing shows with 60s for years. They know fucking one of the festival hosts. Like, that's just some bullshit. Like, don't even have the fucking competition if you got these people in mind. Like, fuck you for that. You know, it sucks. Like, that's $100 down the drain. Because I went to the festival, that shit wasn't worth $100. That shit wasn't worth $50. I went there and like most of the lineup looked unwatchable to me, so I went for literally the last what hour. I think I only stayed like an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. I was just not interested. Like it was a bunch of lame shit. I watched Pharoah Monch, and it was funny because like as I'm watching his set, like he had pretty good energy. He was doing pretty well, but the crowd didn't give a fuck about any other song except Simon Says. Simon Says, get the fuck up. Dun, 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 dun. Which is a banger, so I get it. But it was wild to watch. Like they weren't interested in anything else that he was performing. It was just Simon Says that got them hyped, and I just thought that was wild. I mean, I don't know his catalog like that, but I thought if y'all are, I was at this festival basically because felt like it would have been a waste of my money to not go. I stayed for the least amount of time that I felt was worth it, you know? I wasn't gonna watch. I mean, RBL Posse has a couple of tracks I like, but I wasn't down to go there earlier in the day and fucking sit through a bunch of that garbage, you know? And part of me is like, that's cool, independent hip hop festival. It's whack though that it's not a meritocracy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a better performer than everybody that you had on that fucking stage. Like these dudes are old now. Like no offense to them, but they're old. They're old. They don't have that energy anymore. Like Immortal Technique did pretty well, but like he's old and chubby now. Like he's not. It's not as like intimidating as like when he was younger. I saw him fucking. God damn! I saw him 17 years ago. That's crazy. So he's like, I mean, he had good energy. I give him that, but it's like now that I'm older, I realize like, oh, you're just kind of like a short, chubby guy now, you know, fucking yelling, "Fuck the government," you know, "Fuck the government," "Fuck George Bush." Like he's still rapping about, he's performing songs from like '03 about George Bush and shit, and it's like, bro, like do some new shit. Then again, I don't know. He did some new shit. It wasn't bad, but I mean, it's like you gotta think, yeah, that's cool that you're doing this and having these like older artists there, but you gotta bring some fresh blood in there. Your headliners the last few years are fucking in their 40s and 50s and shit. It's like bring some fresh blood. And I get it. I'm not too far away from my 40s myself, but it's like I I deserve the shot. You're giving these people a shot that you keep giving the same people slots on this festival. Don't think we don't notice that. Like how many times has Hannah Got Raps been on there? The last 2 years in a row, and like she's an unknown artist. Like she's clearly just one of your friends. She doesn't have a fan base, you know. The Dark Room, they don't even have enough of their own songs to perform. They still did that Annie Up cover. It's like, what the fuck is that? Like, they don't even have enough songs to fill 20 minutes. Why the fuck are you giving them a set, you know? It's just whack that they do shit like that. Bermuda, their mixing isn't even good. Like, bro, you're giving these sets, like, I'm not trying to hate, like, that's cool, but it feels like these are just your friends and you wasted everyone's time by having these artist competitions knowing damn well that you're just gonna put your friends on there. And I said it before, I'll say it again. I just think that's trash. Honestly, like I think that's whack that they did that. So that's all I got to say about that particular topic. Sound like Forrest Gump, huh? That's all I have to say about that. But yeah, you gotta invest. You gotta inject youth into the lineup. You gotta inject some youth into that lineup. Wait till LSS Fest. We're gonna have an LSS Fest, several LSS Fests, and artists, if you want to be involved, get at me. I'll keep you in mind. I want to make the best show. You know, I would love to put indie artists on. I'm sure I can find great indie artists that'll make a great festival. I got people in mind already. I'm not gonna do this shit where I just fucking put like my homies on who have like 3 fucking songs that nobody knows. That's not a good festival. It's cool. I like you had the skateboarding, you had like the spray painting, you had all the vendors and shit. You had some pretty well known artists on the lineup, and then you filled the rest of the lineup with a bunch of bullshit. You could have done so much better. I just think that's whack that you do shit like that. Like, we deserve better than that. You're an artist yourself. You're chasing a dream. You're still trying to make it happen. And for you to take advantage of young artists who are trying to make a name for themselves, take their money, use it to form your fucking festival, to fund it. It's just whack. Like, don't do that shit. I hope this message gets through to you. Because the way that you're handling that business is just very fucked up to the artist, I believe. You know? That festival could have been a lot better, and I'll make sure mine is. And I'm not gonna lie, there's a petty part of me that's like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking have a festival the same. Once I get my name bigger, I'm gonna have a festival on the same day, same time, and have a better fucking lineup and more to do, and have it at a better venue, and shut your shit down. Because you do shit like this. You did shit like this multiple years in a row, and going to the festival and seeing the finished product, I just think it's trash. It's like, we gotta evolve. Stop performing fucking 20-year-old songs, 30-year-old fucking songs. Like, let's get the new blood in the game. Stop being a fucking gatekeeper for the old heads. Like, fuck that shit. It's just gotten old, man. I'm tired of motherfuckers doing shit like that. It's fucking the game up. A lot of y'all are fucking hip hop up with shit like that. Like, this genre. And I'm passionate about it because I love this shit. I've dedicated the last, like, fucking 20 years of my life to this shit. To watch y'all spit in my face and disrespect me and not appreciate me as a fucking artist. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of fucking bitch ass, whack ass, beta male ass bitches. Fucking doing everything they can to hold on to the little bit of clout they have. Fuck that shit. Anyway, I don't want to be on this rant anymore. I don't. We're gonna get to some other shit. So, Lord, let's do some reviews. Totally change the vibe. So this week I saw Saw X. Is it Saw 10, Saw X? You know what it is. I mean, I guess it's probably Saw X. I don't think it's Saw 10 because that wouldn't make sense. I don't even think there are 10 Saw movies. It was good. It was better than I expected. I give him credit. I give it 7.5 Zeus slaps out of 11, God. It was pretty damn good. Good acting. Good, like, torture sequences. Actually a pretty emotional movie, and I think that when you make villains relatable, you make them better. You make them more interesting. You understand why Jigsaw wanted to fuck these people up. Like, these doctors took advantage of him, took his money, didn't heal him, fucked him over. He was pissed at the world. It makes sense, It makes sense why they did that to him. So, it makes sense why he did that. So it was pretty good. 7.5 out of 11 Zeus slaps, Scott. Then I also saw a movie called When Evil Lurks, which is an Argentinian horror movie. Also pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I liked it. It was fairly original for what it was. This one, a demonic possession type of movie set in Argentina, but it's like, it's based on like almost like a infection type of thing. Like, there's this big, super morbidly obese guy that's infected, and he just looks disgusting, and they're trying to move him, but when they move him, it actually spreads the evil. And then people end up killing each other and stuff. Like, it just makes people go crazy and start killing people. So it was interesting. It was pretty good. I give that one a 7 out of 11 Zeus slaps, guy. Not bad. I also watched the first Saw. I'm not gonna rate that one I think that one was probably better overall than Saw X. Just like I like the originals, yeah. It was good. It's actually probably one of the better horror movies I've seen. The original Saw. I don't think I ever saw it when I was a kid or anything, but it was pretty good. I thought it was like original. I totally get the appeal of the series because I've seen like episodes here and there, or episodes. I've seen movies here and there in the series. I think I've seen like probably three out of the ones. I feel like I've seen the final chapter, but I'm not 100% sure. I feel like maybe I saw six. I don't know. Anyway, I saw one of the later ones. I know, and yeah, I get the appeal of the series. It's like that psychological torture horror type shit. So pretty good, man. James Wan. I liked. If you want a recommendation, I actually really like that movie Malignant. It's pretty original. Like when you, but believe me, when you start watching it, when I started watching it, I was like, damn, this acting is bad. I don't know if I could do this. And it's like this like flashback sequence, and then once they get away from that, then it's like, oh, okay, those were just the flashback actors. Like they're not very good, but the rest of the movie is good. It's pretty wild. Has a great twist. I would recommend checking it out. Malignant, if you haven't seen it. It's a good one to watch for the Halloween season. So, let's get to this money saga. This is good. I don't have a crazy amount of time left on this episode. I don't want to be ranting about this shit. The money saga. Lord, 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 the money saga. So, the latest update on the money saga. This girl, I wanted fucking cash, right? I wanted cash. I'm done with these like attempted transfers and shit that don't work. If you haven't been following along, this girl owes me thousands of dollars. I don't know if I said the specific amount. I don't know if it's necessary to say. Fuck it, I'll be honest. She owes me $6,000. I lent her money. She's supposed to give it back to me. It has now been almost 3 months. Have not gotten it back. Getting really tired of it. You know, the excuses. There's been like, no exaggeration, like 100 different things that have gone wrong. 100 different instances of like, oh, it's gonna happen today. Oh no, this happened. It's like, I'll try to just rattle off some quick shit. So I was supposed to get it on my birthday. She didn't talk to, basically it's like her son's grandma. Not her mom, but her son's other grandma. She was gonna come and drop off this cash that day, my birthday. I'm waiting around for a couple hours, and eventually I leave. I had to drive an hour and a half out of the way to get there, right? I'm annoyed. I leave after like waiting around, I think for 3 hours, waiting with her. The lady, she said she was gonna leave as soon as possible. I got there at 10. It was 1 by the time I left. She didn't get there till fucking 7. And I was just like, is this lady trolling me or what? So this girl puts the money into her bank, puts the cash into her bank. She's on Medi-Cal. Medi-Cal sees this. They seize the money. Medi-Cal sees it and seizes the money. And fucking now I gotta wait. It took weeks and weeks for them to get it back to her. But they get it back to the woman who gave her the money. So then I'm over there for like, there's so many other things that have happened, but basically like it got to the point where I literally pulled up to the lady's house with her, and the lady was running late, and then I had to take her to work, and then after that she decided she wanted to wait on the guy that she owed the Airbnb money to because she was staying at an Airbnb. The guy says he's on his way. It's a duplex, he lives next door. He doesn't show up for like 6 hours. I'm waiting for most of that time before I finally fucking leave. And I keep telling her like, let's just go, you know. Then her son's grandma was just supposed to bring the money by. Okay, fine. She doesn't bring it. We don't hear from her. This girl's phone's fucking up again. So what happened is like one of their family friends passed away, so she had to leave and do all that. Then she's the like basically mother-in-law, her son's grandma. After that night she's sending me a Venmo transfer. Because she's in the hills, it never goes through. And like all this stuff, when you hear it, it's like you start questioning it. It's like, is this just a fucking scam or what? But it's so weird because if it was a scam, it's like you would have just dipped out. Like, you got the money, you don't have to keep doing this. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. So the latest thing, I'm gonna cut to the latest thing. We go to the bank. I want fucking cash. She goes in there. They're like, oh, they want to do a check, and I'm like, what the fuck ever? Do a check then. So because she had lagged ass all day, we didn't get to the bank till 2:30, I think. 2:30, yeah, that sounds right. So then I have to take her back to her hotel room, a half hour away. My bank, because I didn't want anything sus to happen, I wanted to deposit the check at my bank in person, you know? So because she dragged ass and we didn't get there, you know, the bank opened at 9. We could have got there at 9, or we could have got there at any earlier time. Because we didn't get there till 2:30, and I was going to my home bank in my parents' city, which was 2.5 hours away. I missed the fucking bank being open by half an hour. If she just would have dragged ass a little less, I could have put it into the bank. You know, what does she do? She lost her 4th card of the week. She lost 4 fucking cards in the same week. She lost a Venmo card, a Cash App card, that debit card, and some other card she had. She lost all of those fucking cards. So she ends up freezing her fucking card. I thought she just froze the card, then she told me she froze the account. So the fucking check she gave me, I can't even put into the bank. You know? So then, after that, her fucking phone goes out. So I can't get a hold of her. She's like messaging me from her laptop because she has like a texting app. And it's just ridiculous. It's like I was supposed to go out there this weekend, didn't get to do that because I didn't get a hold of her. Like, I had no way to really get a hold of her. Finally heard from her, hearing from her very sporadically through like this fucking computer. So I finally was just like, fuck it. And I decided to do an online deposit of the check. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. The check could still go through even if her account's frozen. It's probably going to fuck her account up if it doesn't go through. I don't give a fuck at this point. I'm fucking done. I'm giving you like the tip of the iceberg with like shit that has happened. Because we were supposed to go pick up cash this weekend. You know? Didn't do that because she wants to close that account. Or at least take all her money out of that account. Like, okay, well let me come so I can get my fucking cash, you know? She was fine with that. She also, this is hilarious. So at one point, she's worried about being late to work and shit. So she wants me to just take her card, go to the bank, and pick up the money. And I'm just like, it's a terrible idea with all the issues you've had with this account. And then honestly, if she decided she was mad at me, if she reports her card stolen, and then I'm taking money out of her bank, like I could fucking get locked up for that. So who knows? Like, I don't really trust her at this point. I don't. I just feel like this shit doesn't add up. There's been way too much shit that's happened, and I don't trust her. Like, I wouldn't put it past her. Like, I don't think she would do that, like, if you put a gun to my head, but I'm like, I don't want to fucking take that chance. Like, she is crazy. She's off. Like, this shit doesn't make sense. So, yeah, not a good look. Fucking the latest thing is we're supposed to go this week to finally get cash. She doesn't know that I deposited the check. I don't know if it's gonna work. It's supposed to come through on the 11th, which is what day? Let's see. Wednesday. It's supposed to go through October 11th, according to the bank. So we'll see. It still says pending the last time I checked. I really hope it goes through because I'm so sick of driving back and forth. Like, I've driven there at least 8 times and come back empty-handed, and it just has pissed me off, you know, because it feels like everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. And she is saying that I'm bullying her and shit. I'm like, girl, I just want my fucking money back. Like, I'm not bullying you. It's just crazy. Like, it really has shown me that she's honestly kind of a shitty person. Like, she has insulted me, called me broke, you know, and shit. And it's like, I'm not broke. I had money. You took my fucking money, like, and spent it up, wasted it in a fucking hotel, you know. You didn't have fucking money, which is why you had to borrow money. Like, don't call people bro. I didn't realize your life and that you borrow from your fucking son's grandma all the time. She says that lady sent her 25K this year, and I'm just like, you got to get it the fuck together. Like, that's crazy. Like, I wouldn't send you that, you know. I don't get it. I wouldn't do it. Like, she needs to figure shit out. She can't just keep using people. She said she's tired of owing people money, but she keeps prolonging this shit. It's like, you're making it take so much longer. One of the days I was out there, she was like, I don't want to go today because I don't want to be late to work. She worked at fucking 2:30. The bank opens at 9. And it's a half hour away. Like, we had plenty of time to fucking get there and back. But she didn't want to do that. And the latest thing is after I have the check, I'm asking her, can you just unfreeze your account? Like, if someone has your card, they can't fucking access your account if the card is frozen, you know? Most likely your dumbass just lost it somewhere like you did the other fucking 3 cards this week. You know? It's like, I don't think someone took your fucking card. I honestly think you're just she's clumsy, she can't see that well, and she's lazy as hell, so she puts her cards, like, in a pocket outside of her wallet instead of having them in the wallet. I can't tell you the last time I lost a card, honestly. I can't even tell you that. I don't know when the last time I lost a card was. It's just crazy. She loses them all the fucking time. I don't know. It's gotten really old. Obviously, if you've paid attention to any of these episodes, you've seen it over time. Like, you probably saw, I think the 2 episodes ago, I was just going off on her because she's texting me and trying to play the victim, like, wow, I'm doing my show. She actually fucked my show up by calling me, which is annoying as hell because anytime I call, she doesn't pick up. Like, she'll send a long ass text. Like, she's the type of person that doesn't want to talk through calls, just text, and she'll send you fucking like 10 texts, and it's like, bitch, I don't want to respond to all this shit through text. Like, this is tedious as fuck. I would rather just talk on the phone. But she just like has social anxiety or some shit. I don't even fucking know. She's just a big baby, man. Like, she's so damn negative. That's what I was finding, you know? It's just everything is like a problem. And it's like, you're attracting this shit. This shit you're doing. You can't keep blaming the damn world. Like, if it keeps happening to you, you know? So the level of disrespect has gotten crazy. I have to like walk on eggshells for someone that owes me thousands of dollars. I have to walk on eggshells because she'll get butthurt. Like, if I say anything to defend myself, I'm not considering her feelings. It's just a fucking nightmare, man. She doesn't understand like what she does, or maybe she does, and she's just spoiled or something. But to me, I'm like, I mean, I told my parents about it, and they're like, I would never borrow that much money from someone. You know, it's like, that takes a lot of audacity. Yeah, it was dumb. I should have stopped it. I should have cut it off. Shouldn't have lent it that much. Because it wasn't like I did all that at once. It was like over time, like week to week, day to day. And one day I counted, and I was like, fuck, I sent you like way too much. Because I was supposed to get paid like within a couple weeks at the most. And now we're almost 3 months in. There's a good chance that it's going to extend even further. And it's just like, get it the fuck together, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't get it personally. But anyway, I digress. Is there anything else I want to say about that? I don't think so. Happy Columbus Day, I guess. Fuck Columbus, though. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Fuck Columbus. Oh, man. Yeah. And I think that's about it. That's all I got. So I'm going to switch to KZRO Sports. God damn. KZRO Sports. Fucking Kershaw fucking sucked. Man. He had like the worst game of his career, and he decided to have it in the playoffs. Just terrible. I feel for him. Like, I've defended him, and like shit like that's just indefensible, man. Like, how do you do that fucking badly? How are you that much worse in the playoffs? Like, I thought you got over that, you know? He had a good year, and then he gets to the playoffs, and it's like, oh, time to give up 6 runs in an inning. Like, what the fuck? Just brutal. His postseason ERA for his career is like 4 point something. It's like, damn, man. So sad, because his like lifetime ERA in the regular season is like 2.48 or something like that. In the postseason, it's like 4.48. Like, what the hell? That's terrible. You give up 2 more runs in the postseason on average. Poor Kershaw, though, man. I don't know if he tips his pitches or what the fuck happens. But every year, I mean, the only year that didn't happen was the World Series that they won. And that was the weird one that, I don't know, I mean, when people talk about, oh, the Lakers bubble chip shouldn't count, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, that was like 2 seasons in one, you know? People talk about that like as if the Lakers had an advantage. Like, no one had an advantage, honestly. I heard someone saying that today, like, well, normally there's injuries in the season, and that year it was like the teams with the most talent won. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with the teams with the most talent winning? That's what should happen. It sucks when that doesn't happen. It sucks when it happens because of an injury. I hate that shit, personally. I don't like when the champion wins because the other team was injured. Who the fuck likes that? That doesn't feel like that's what's supposed to happen. So I just thought that was silly. Somebody on ESPN was saying that. What a dumbass. Like, I don't like that. Who likes that? I want to see the best team win. I hope it's my team, but I want to see the best team win. I wouldn't want my team to win because, like, the other team had, like, 5-star players that were injured or some shit, you know? It's like, I don't want that. I want the best to beat the best, and I hope it's my team. If my team's not the best, I mean, it sucks to see them lose, but I'd rather have that than have it the other way, you know? I'm for meritocracy, equality, fairness. On the bright side, the Niners wrecked the Brokebacks, 42-10. The Dallas Brokebacks, they got fucked in the ass, man. Kittle, 3 touchdowns. He also wore a Fuck Dallas shirt. Love to see it. Niners used to wear Fuck Dallas shirts back in the day. That rivalry is real. It's been around for a long time. How did I get through that so effortlessly? That rivalry is real. There's a flashing light outside. That was weird. Well, aliens, I'm in here. Come get me. What up, aliens? Strange. Anyway, is aliens offensive? If it is, I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, Niners whooped their ass. Brock Purdy. I almost called him Brock Turdy. Brock Purdy, 4 touchdown passes. And now he has 9 touchdown passes and 0 interceptions for the year. Impressive. Like, he's an MVP candidate for real. Actually, he is the MVP. Like, if it ended today, he would win it, I'm sure. So, that's crazy to think about. They keep, it's Mr. Irrelevant. Oh, he's not that good. System quarterback. It's like, honestly, at this point, I think he's proven he's definitely not just a system quarterback. He's made some crazy throws. And he's good. The Niners lucked out, but that's how it goes sometimes. You know, they traded those picks for Trey Lance. It didn't work out. I think Trey Lance is going to turn into a good quarterback. I just think the Niners, it's like, well, when you got this guy that's already fucking, like, lighting it up and is ready and is, you know, he won every game that he started where he didn't get injured. Like, how do you switch to the other guy at that point? So I get it. I understand it. Dink and Dak, Pick Scott had 3 interceptions in the game. Jesus, he got slammed. I knew that was going to happen. I predicted that. I thought Dak was going to be good for some picks. I knew it. And, I mean, he's a good quarterback, but he is just mistake prone. He's not clutch. He has, like, some Kershaw to him, you know? Some Peyton Manning, some Kershaw. They called, for a while, they were calling him Clayton Manning and Peyton Kershaw, But I mean, now Peyton Manning's won 2. Kershaw got to win 2, or he's not on that level yet. The last one, the defense basically won. But if Kershaw wins like that, where it's like, oh, well, you weren't good, but we won, then that's fine too. Let him get his chips. He deserves more than that. But yeah. I'm going to get to one segment that you love. That'll do it for the sports. Now, let us read from the Book of Graph. Sometimes I don't know if your friend or foe. Your splendor's ender. Can splendor grow? I want to see us reach the pinnacle. But a lot of that route is nonsensical. It's street life, but you from Corona. You move to LA and become a loner. Acting like you got all the connections. You work hard from the stalls to deflections. You think you're a guy with no evidence. Your views closer to the devil's tents. Bragging like you did 100 chicks, please. Your emotional growth was stunted quickly. You delayed your friend's success, selfishly trying to spin the flesh. Audio engineer with poor mixing, running vocals thinking you're fixing, ruining vocals. Big bro with small accomplishments, embarrass me with fake release non-events. I'm consistent, write constantly. It's hard not to fret despondently. Hard not to. Sometimes I don't know, you friend or foe. You splendor's ender, can splendor grow? I want to see us reach the pinnacle. By the time your root gum, it's nonsensical. That was nonsensical. Get it? Thank you for listening. It's been fun. It's kind of a therapy session this time, huh? I got a lot off my chest. Went the fuck off. And, man, yeah. I'll see you next week. YKTV, TSLV, Big Zero forever.